All right, welcome to week 13. This week we begin covering two seemingly apolitical institutions of the federal government. I say apolitical because the civil service and the judicial branches have very separate political cultures that place a premium on objectivity or impartiality in terms of how they distribute political goods or adjudicate conflicts. With federal civil servants, their job is to equitably implement public policies. Okay, so Chapter 11 deals with the issue of bureaucracy, which are the complex network of cabinet departments, regulatory agencies, and independent executive agencies that make up the federal civil service. Think of the bureaucracy metaphorically as the muscles of government, right? Congress can pass laws, presidents can issue executive orders, federal courts can issue rulings. Bureaucrats are needed to actually put those actions into effect, and that is very real power. Understanding different type of bureaucratic agencies is very important. The largest units of the federal government are the cabinet departments. They manage large areas of policy like national defense, the administration of justice, or large policy areas like agriculture or commerce or education. These agencies have powerful interests which give them a strong basis of support. Understanding the difference between a cabinet department, a regulatory agency, or an independent executive agency, and government corporations are very important for what these agencies do and why they do it. There are a lot of people out there that believe that there's an American deep state, which is actually a notion drawn from the way governments operate in places like Turkey and Egypt. The idea of a deep state in those countries is, this is a situation where permanent members of the civil service, oftentimes in the military, have the power to prevent elected officials from engaging in reforms or doing anything that might erode the power and influence of those civil servants. You also have in states like Turkey and Egypt, strong centralized states. Where in the United States, we're highly decentralized and frankly, fairly weak. In my view, the bureaucracy does have the ability to resist what may be perceived as encroachments into policy implementation on the part of the political branches of government. But to me, the notion of an American deep state is fundamentally a variety of conspiracy theory without foundation. I'm willing, obviously, to discuss that further in the forum. For graded assignments, we only have the weekly forum and the quiz. But I would also, advise you to begin thinking about, reading the second reading, the reading for the second writing assignment, which is Michael Lewis's Vanity Fair article from 2017 entitled "Made in the USDA." The article provides a look inside the Department of Agriculture and surveys many important services that the USDA provides to Americans, particularly Americans living in rural parts of the country. As Lewis writes, it's in the places in our government where the cameras never roll that you have to worry about. So it's good, it would be a good thing for you to start reading this week as you're reading your chapter on bureaucracy. A lot of Americans just don't have the patience to take the time to understand all the things that bureaucratic agencies like agriculture does on a day-to-day basis to improve the lives of Americans. And so it's easy to, fall back on cliches and just argue the government's doing too much, cut, cut, cut. I think that's a dangerous conceit to think that we don't need government. And I hope reading the article will give you a better sense of what government, and especially the bureaucracy, does to give Americans more opportunity. All right, let's have a great week.